What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? I'm the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus.
Wardlow here.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Well, hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. And of course, you know what Thursday means. Well, I should probably say it if you don't.
World.
Well, it's Thursday Night Chaser.
Oh, no way!
Apparently, yeah, I know, right? And apparently, you know, I didn't know it was Thirsty Thursday. So I saw that on Twitter earlier. I was like, oh.
Is that what you're getting into your holiday tree?
Is Thirsty Thursday or peaches?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B. I don't know, man.
No, none of the nothing that has to do with peaches, unfortunately. Okay. But you know, hey, well, guys, hey, welcome to Wrestling on the Rocks. And I'm not going to say, you know, who our friends are that sponsored our bar, because if you heard me last week, I'm like not the pitch person because I kept screwing up the name. That's why when Digi is not here, we need help because that's not my job, apparently. So, I'm Ms. Amanda Jane, and Digi's going to tell us who our friends are sponsoring the bar because I can't do it.
And we got to thank our friends for keeping the lights on and our wonderful little dive bar, Fans First Sports Network. Oh, boy, did they know what they were getting into.
I know they're probably thinking, shit, what is up with this episode 1 crap? Oh, the professionalism.
Hey, man, kayfabe.
Hey, we're in class because look at that bar behind you. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, ooh, it's very festive. Yeah, I'm like, wow, that's a classy bar. I think I'm going to have to look and see if look at bar backgrounds, because now I'm intrigued after seeing this festive holiday of yours. Okay, I know we are also on audio, so like if you are listening, Digi's got this amazing, like, I want to say it's like a cross between a fancy hotel bar and an Irish pub as his background, with a little bit of festive what is it, holly and berries and pine needle things that look like they're real and not fake like you see in some hotels. But hey, they have budgets. We don't.
This is
But yeah, it's
actually from an
classy.
Irish pub.
Yeah, it is. See, we need a tiki bar. I mean, man, if they actually had a bar ringside, the only wrestling that I can associate with a bar, oh my goodness, Chaos is
Okay.
it's flashy. It is. It's classy. Things were not. It's amazing. Flashy.
Chaos
Yeah.
is a
Well,
friend of the show. Good
oh, there
stuff.
you go.
Welcome.
Welcome. I was gonna say, only like bar. Well, there's two that I associate wrestling with. Obviously, is one that was run by someone we don't mention their name, but it was a great little promotion while it lasted. Bar wrestling. That's all I'm gonna say. But the other was PWG at Reseda, because you can bring in your own plastic pitcher. Those cheap ones you'd get at like, I don't know, like Pizza Hut, back when you actually can eat in a Pizza Hut. And people put they put stickers on it or paint it and whatever. Yeah. So I think maybe there's a photo I can take. Actually, let me ask Mikey Nolan, because he shot a lot down there.
I was gonna say, what are you gonna like put Pizza Hut as your background?
Yeah, no, because you see like a shot from from kind of like the stage where you'll see the ring and the bar. Yeah. You can't, because it's so small in there. I mean, Jesus. Like, you can ask any wrestler who's ever wrestled in Reseda, like, when you think of Reseda, what, like, 3 things come to mind? I will guarantee that one of those 3 things will be it was fucking hotter than Hades in there. That's one thing.
Well,
2, the bathrooms were gross. And then 3, they say they'd wrestle there and again in a heartbeat. Those are the top 3 things. So 2 gross, 2,
that's a
gross things.
awkward compliment sandwich there, Amanda.
Yeah. Awful.
Yeah.
What happens when we miss you? I mean, yeah, you can't give, the monkeys the keys to the zoo,
Well, see, first you missed me, and we had a student from MCW, which we're going to touch back on that. And then you missed me, and you got stuck with Marsh.
No, no, I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I actually had lots of guests with me.
Ooh.
Last week. It was very, very interesting. So if you guys have not seen episode 1, then I suggest you go back. And yes, I had guests. I ignored the chat, apparently. I could not say who our sponsor, sponsored,
well,
mothership is,
Not so much sponsored, more like sponsored adjacent.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works. Like contracts, this kind of stuff. Don't know how all that works. No idea. No idea. I don't even know if they work here, but I'm just here. I mean, yeah, apparently y'all like me enough that I'm here every week. Or not.
Somehow.
But if you don't like me, then why the hell are you watching?
Oh, God.
Mysteries of the universe. That's all I know. Well, before we get too far, I almost forgot I had a drink right here. Let's play a friendly game of what's in your glass. So, Digi, what do you have in your glass today?
Black velvet.
Just black velvet? Nothing? No. Oh, must be one of those days, huh? Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not one of those days here. We're just having my regular Coke with no ice, but we'll probably be reaching for something very shortly.
Coke, ...
Yeah, to be continued. Dun, dun, dun. Well, let's get rid of not get rid of, but let's, shout out the birthdays because, hey,
birthdays.
Almost the end of the year. But there's actually quite a few that are very interesting this week. So, gotta wish a happy birthday to a good brother, no Gallows, right? No,
Big LG.
Big LG, gotta love it, gotta love it. Kyle Fletcher, and congrats to him on he's the wait, which Ring of Honor, the television champ.
Yeah,
good on him. So I'm thinking, and I don't know any of with Mark Davis how long he's out for, but by putting this belt on Kyle Fletcher, it makes me believe that Mark Davis is going to be out for a considerable amount of time again.
Yeah. It's like Omega.
Well, we'll talk about Kenny later, but but happy birthday, Kyle! You I didn't realize because I saw him wrestle. Was it 2018 Bola? It was the magical Bola that had like Walter, Ilya Dragunov, Shingo Takagi. That one, the one that everyone's like,
right?
Yeah. And I didn't realize he was only like right now he's like maybe 23, 24. I was like, whoa, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Good on you, dude. Good on you. The one wrestler that everyone was thought to sign, he should have signed with AEW, Goldberg. Happy birthday.
I mean, they can have him.
Well, people wanted him there. I don't know. He's probably a little upset that he didn't go to the Jewish Sports Hall of Fame and MJF did this week.
Oh, yeah, he was pissed.
Oh, yeah. Colt Cabana should be pissed about that, too.
Oh, most people didn't even know this award existed until just now. So,
well, maybe he knew that they're Jewish, I don't know. But I will say there is a belt that MJF has never held for Jewish people. That is he's like the world Jewish heavyweight champion or something like that. Colt Cabana, of course. And yeah, it was really cool because the belt looks like a WWE belt, except obviously it's blue. A lot of bling on it. Instead of that tacky, like, like a symbol or whatever, it's a Jewish Star of David.
Nice. So
Shabbat Shalom, people. Happy Hanukkah. Yeah. I know the Festive of Lights is done, I think, already.
Yes, it is done.
Cheers to y'all.
Yep. Cheers.
And, I hope you got all the gelt and like awesome Jewish wrestler people merch, which is mostly MJF and Colt, but mostly MJF. But anyways, who else do we have birthday? Zelina Vega. Girl, happy birthday. Yep. Another one who's coming up is one that I have some issues about this one, and it's not a good. Well, they're just opinions, but happy birthday to Miro, the Redeemer.
Love me some Miro.
I do too. I just have big problems with what's going on with him right now.
Justin,
woo! Cheers, Justin. How's it going? Missed you around these parts. Didn't see you last week, or maybe I did, and I ignored you because I ignored the chat. I know I should get fired or fined or something. Let's see here. Who else is of notice that we know? Yuka Sadazaki. She's the little one on AEW that she dresses like a genie.
Yeah, she's like half a quarter. She's tiny.
Like, there's you've got Rio tiny, and then you have this one who's a little tinier than Rio.
She's been mistaken for a school kid on more than one occasion, and she's of age.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't like Joshi, but I'll save that for another day. That's Sandbox. I will step down on that. Yeah. So apparently, I know that she was going to be wrestling this next year a little bit more full time with AEW. Was what I was reading. So we'll see. I don't know. They need to really work on their women's. Another person who I want to say a very, very happy birthday to One amazing dude, Chris Hero. And
Which-
he's been on doing the rounds. I think he did Talk is Jericho. I haven't listened to it yet. And I know one of the topics of conversation that was brought up was the Kings of Wrestling. And I know I said in episode 1 that that's one thing I would love to see. Like if Chris were to, before he went and wrestled Thatcher, if there was a special moment and he got to wrestle on TV one more time, that would have been amazing.
Well, I'm putting a pin on that Chris Hero gimmick. It's adjacent. I gotta turn you on to something in the fans.
I will. I got you.
I got notes.
There you go. Which is awesome because I don't do them. If she were live, Joni or China, I loved her.
Yeah,
I did. I loved her a lot. I mean, a lot of these guys have their demons, but she was really amazing. So happy birthday to you.
and if you're
Neil.
a fan of China,
Mhm.
from way back in the day, if you go on X and you follow the China account, they will follow you back. That's being ran by members of her family.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I've been following.
Run, people, run now.
Yeah.
Run now. Keep us on, but run right now to X. You're the only person now who calls it X that I know of. I still call it Twitter.
It's still Twitter to me, but I have to.
I know, but you conformed. You conformed. Elon wants it that way. I'm like, nope. It's Twitter, goddammit. I don't care how big of an X you put on the street in San Francisco.
I'll just say this, I can definitely believe a billionaire that tells other billionaires to go fuck themselves. So I'm cool with that.
I wonder if Tony's father is one of those kind of billionaires. Not Tony. No. Okay. All right. I was just asking because I don't know. So, but also speaking of, it's our last birthday, but speaking of the Kings of Wrestling, his partner, Claudio Castagnoli, happy birthday. Oh my God, Claudio. Okay. Claudio.
Talk about a guy that was a missed mark over and over and over again.
Yes. Now, have I liked his booking in AEW? Yes and no.
You give a smart mark a booking sheet. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, at least
he has a title.
No, he doesn't anymore.
He had one.
But either way, though, I mean, at least like he doesn't have these stupid, gimmicks like we the people. That was awful. Yeah, that was really awful.
I don't care. I'm in it to win it.
Okay. Well, yeah, it just I don't know. It's uncomfortable. Like
it's cringe, but
But is it as cringe as being, what is it? What was it? That t-shirt. Hold on, I'm slaughtering it. The new Will Hobbs t-shirt.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay, hold on. I gotta pull it up because I'm about to ruin it, just like how I couldn't, say our sponsor. Let me see here. Let's see.
I can only take so many notes for you, Amanda.
But no, because this one, I don't know. On my timeline, maybe I didn't see this. I don't know if anyone else's, but apparently Will Hobbs has a new shirt. It says Big Black and Jacked.
I mean,
that's a little cringe.
Cringe? Yes. Accurately descriptive? Yes.
Well, apparently on X, and I'll have to find it and pull it up, but somebody had tweeted out the white guy wearing the shirt, and he was like, oh yeah, saying something like he loved his, his new Will Hobbs shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ricky quote tweeted it and said, "You better not be wearing that come February."
Whatever.
I had to laugh because I'm like, that takes some big cojones to do that. And for me, I'm like, if it's gonna sell your shirts, it's gonna sell your shirts. But
like, let's just cut this out the gate here. When people do that kind of shit, you just taken out Hobbs' income. And you say, don't wear this shirt if you're not X, Y, and Z, you just cut the man's paycheck.
well, it's weird.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You should.
You're not wrong. But like, let me just say, as if I saw someone wearing that, okay, out in public, right, and you did not know what that was, that would be kind of funky. I'd look at them like, what the fuck? But then again, I have a t-shirt that says all my friends are dead. So, and I was told, I wore it in Vegas at Sam's Town, and there was Ring of Honor. And this lady, I was in the elevator, my mom was with me, and this lady and her husband, she goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about your friends." And I go, oh, no. I said, this is, my friends are living. My mom was just like, oh God. She was like, Jesus. She said, "Did you have to wear that shirt?" And I go, yeah, wearing to the show.
Yeah.
Well, but anyways, the only person I can really see wearing that is Willis. And I see Willis wearing it doing the Prince Na Na dance. And Justin says, that sure sounds like it was made by someone who just recently became a wrestling fan. Saw Hobbs for the first time, and that's how they described him. Correct.
But as a caveat, and this is something that so many people miss, and Amanda knows this, is that if your merch is shit, if it's something that's going to be that big of a problem, you have the right of refusal. Like, there's such a point where you can go, no, this is cringe. No, Hobbs had to be on board for this merch to exist as merch.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the irony. Maybe that's the joke.
There is a shirt that Wardlow did, and it's on the clearance, because I was like, oh, they have a sale apparently, and his shirt was on clearance, and I never knew. Well, I didn't know it existed. But his shirt said, "Pin me, War Daddy."
Yes. That is very nice.
I would I wear that? Probably. But
I mean,
again,
to be that, I mean, that dude's jacked.
he is. He's I'm not gonna say he's a nice piece of candy. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Lovely man. Don't get me wrong. Awesome dude. That's why it's awesome too. Brittany, shout out to you. But yeah, no, it's very interesting. And it was really interesting seeing, like, right now I'm looking at what's in the clearance shirts. I mean, hey, who doesn't want an exploding barbed wire deathmatch shirt? I wouldn't want to have anything to do with that. Someone would buy that.
Yep.
War Daddy. Oh yeah.
And
yep. Shout out to that. I'm all about that. I guess they're getting rid of the Sex Gods one, because I guess, Sammy's a daddy, and there's a shirt he had that's a Spanish daddy, and I'm like, oh no.
I mean,
it's true, yes. But I don't know. And then Tay Conti's shirts, it looks like almost all of them are in clearance.
Well, that's Tay Conti for you.
Well, yeah. It's very interesting. Like, you've got some of MJF's shirts. There's a Jungle Boy one in there. Satnam Singh, his only shirt on clearance. I'm like, I was waiting for, I don't know, other ones to go on clearance, but hey, we'll see. And then I will say this: if you are Apparently, they have some kind of sale. I don't know. It's only on certain things, but if you want AEW swag, go for it. The only AEW swag that I want is not on sale. Oh, the two pieces that I want are not on sale. So that is the poster from the Texas Death Match, Ricky Danielson, where they go bloody and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chibi sticker, because I have a mini one. Where did it go? It's
Well,
somewhere here.
And Justin says it sucks that Hobbs has fallen into the same pattern he's been in, where he's on TV for a bit and then just vanished. My response to that is, welcome to the AEW roster.
My thing is, he needs to not be in a faction. He needs to stand out on his own.
I think they need less of a roster. Like, there's too many people on that roster, so nobody gets enough time to make a difference. It isn't an EVP.
Well, they should keep the people who are supposed to be on Ring of Honor, and they should keep people that are supposed to be on whatever brand, and the only people that will like intermingle, at least between Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision, should be those with a belt that has to do with whatever.
Right. If somebody,
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's only a small part of it. Like,
That's a big part of it.
Well, from a business standpoint, you buy a brand that is well known, then you turn it into the C show of the B show of the A show, and you take everything that was up to that history, the book, the tapes, everything that was involved in that, you relegate it to a sideline, you ignore everything that came before it, you spend your first 6 months hyping where it came from, and then ignore it the rest of the time. It's like the redheaded stepchild of that particular product, if that makes sense to you here.
Yeah, but I think it got worse when he started signing names. That's when it really got worse, because you would see, oh yeah, okay, you're on everything. And then of course he had the internet wrestling then. So, you could always show people on Dark Dynamite, Dark Elevate, whatever, Black, White, whatever the hell they want to call it. But so it's a little different. But I think that
too many people spread through too many venues. Like, you only have so many shows, and you have like 40 people on this roster.
Yeah.
You don't need that many to do that much. And then he's signing more fucking people. It's like, why? Stop it.
Well, it's very, very interesting. And I say that only because when I look at their roster right now, like I just pulled it up just to kind of peek over here. And just looking at them, there are on here 1, 2. Oh, I didn't realize Arya Davari was still on in AEW. Okay. 2, Anthony Gogo. That's 2, 3. Oh boy.
There's at least 10 names on there that you haven't seen in half side a year.
Well, the obvious ones you don't see obviously are like Jack Perry. I didn't know Arya Davari. Chuck Taylor. I don't know what the hell's up with Chuck Taylor. And then Justin says
Chuck Taylor knows.
But I think he's injured, but I don't know. AEW has more than enough people that they can and should do a roster split. Yeah, Justin, I thought they were doing that a long time ago.
That was the plan, apparently.
Yeah. I know we talked about it on episode 1, and I swear I think you were on this episode 1 where we were talking about that. Swear.
Well,
but yeah, I mean,
Amanda, before we get too deep in the weeds here, because we seem to be wanting to go everywhere.
Yes.
So here's what we're gonna do. Let's refill our glass, or in your case, bend the straw a little.
Okay. This doesn't bend.
It doesn't bend? What?
I don't have a bendy straw. Well, okay, bendy straws, at least the ones I've been getting, the soda like goes up it and it kind of spills out sometimes. So it does some whatever haunted magic shit. And yeah, it irritates me. So I got one. Can't bend.
I'll be sure to hook you up. Let's give a nice shout out to Bartender, Fans First Sports Network for keeping the lights on because, well, somebody's got to, right?
Yep.
Lord. So now that the bartender has filled the glass and everything, let's get down to this brass tacks here because we were going to tangent for like 2 hours.
Like we
So
normally do.
I mean, yeah, that may as well be the name of the show, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not the Thursday night chase, it's the Thursday night chase squirrel.
Yep.
So we were just talking about AEW and how Dynamite was actually good.
Yesterday.
So yeah, okay, I'm listening.
Well, okay. So the reason why I said that was all right. Matches were actually pretty decent. I kind of liked having the Continental Classic. I'm not gonna lie, because you're getting at least some good wrestling. There's only been a few that were kind of like, ugh. But for the most part, you're getting that. And I'm loving these promos that they're cutting also backstage after. So those have been some pretty good things to kind of, I mean, they're doing that right. So I don't know who's producing these segments and whatnot and working with Giancarlo, but they're doing it right. That's all I know. But I think that last night was interesting in the fact that you had also some really good promos that were cut. I mean, Swerve and MJF, ooh. If they do not strap a rocket on Shane Strickland, Tony Khan needs to basically sell that company, or he needs to step away for a little bit, because Swerve has so much momentum right now. It's not even funny. And I feel that he should win this tournament. He's my pick. I think he's been my pick, if I'm not mistaken. And, I think that he doesn't need a name like a Moxley or or any name to put him at the level. I mean, this the work he does puts him at that level. Those matches with Hangman. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I love Hangman to death. Don't get me wrong. But
he's missing a component though.
But he's
I mean, the skill is there, but you have to be able to walk and talk. You know what I mean? He's got that part, but somebody needs to sit backstage with this boy for 2 hours a week to make sure he's doing his homework.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing holding him back from being a special talent, because I hate that phrase, generational talent. Nobody's a fucking generational talent until you've done 30 years like The Undertaker, all right? Let's just cut that out.
That, I don't like pillars. I don't like the generational talent phrase. And there's another one that drives me batty that they talk about all the time.
Locker room leader, even though that is a thing, kind of.
Yeah. It's just somebody who has a bigger dick than everybody else, or they think they have a bigger dick than everybody else. That's all that one is. I mean, that has nothing to do with me or you or whomever.
Well, no, that's an internal thing.
Yeah. It's only certain people who want to say that they did that. But I will say that, they do with yesterday, I will say it did pique my curiosity and my interest to see what is going to be happening with that tournament this weekend. I think for me, the only reason why, well, there's two reasons why I'd watch Rampage, but Collision, not Rampage, sorry. And that would be Claudio versus Brian, because honestly, who do you have win in that one?
Claudio, of course.
Maybe.
Nope.
I would think Claudio.
Long-term investment.
But yeah, and then Danielson, I don't know. It'd be nice.
Danielson
nice if he has gold, but he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it.
Danielson's really one bad bump away from no longer being able to compete. Claudio's still in good health.
Yeah, he is. He is. And I think that
Brian's not over like he used to be. Now he's just kind of there. He's the Dean Ambrose of the Shield.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, but I think he's definitely there to help the people in the roster that need it.
Well,
I
yeah,
think.
to get them fired. I got feelings about that because that seems like little conflict of interest bullshit to me, but not my locker room. I just think that any person has a vested interest of removing you from your job for the sake of others shouldn't be in a position of authority over you, whether you have one or not. Could just be me, but
Yep.
um,
Well, all I know is the people who think that having a like a committee to figure out like the what is it? It's their ethics and policy. Yeah, no, no. You guys really shouldn't have to do that. It should honestly should have really wrestlers courted it. I mean, I know that's something that
well,
not a lot of people know what that is, but honestly, that's
well,
where it should have been.
and that's the thing is that's for those who don't look at the things on the internet. Wrestlers Court is where essentially the talent of that particular company get together, and normally it's the oldest guys who've been around the longest act as sort of the judge, and then there's a little back and forth about what they did, and then punishment is meted out by the people who work there, not necessarily by the company. It was a way to not fuck your career, but at the same time, mediate some justice for some wrongdoing.
Yeah. I think with certain cases that have been, I think that with the original incident that happened with people getting bit and kicking doors down and whatnot, I think that probably would have ended up happening if we really look back on it and they did wrestlers court. I have a feeling that a lot of
I don't
things
think it
would
would have happened.
a lot different.
I could tell you why it wouldn't have happened.
Why?
Because 3 of those people were executive vice presidents.
Yeah.
That's why it would have happened.
No, but you see, here's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have people like obviously with Phil, they should have thought, oh no, what are we
Shouldn't have
doing
mattered.
here? Yeah. But still, it's gone, he's gone. So that's fine. But
Yeah.
yay for that. But I don't know. I just think that there's just certain things that, they need to do. And also what I'm really upset about too is they really made Brody King look like a bitch. And a lot of people will totally tell me, no,
Yeah, you
because
did.
of the promos that he cut after. I'm like, no, the dude is a fucking beast. And if you have frail Danielson like beating him, yeah, I'm like, I don't think that Brody is this monster anymore. Like,
Yeah.
if little frail eye patch Brian Danielson beats him, it's like he's not that scary then.
No.
He's a scary dude. I mean, if you've ever been in his presence, yeah, I wouldn't fuck with that guy. Oh yeah, nope.
I think there's a place for it. I just don't think it's a place where somebody who, like I said, is virtually 1 foot out the door as is. He doesn't need it. He didn't need the rub. It needed to go the other way around. There was no need for that win. Period.
True.
There was a 1 of a million ways to elevate a star to make a guy believable. Somebody, that you can count to be that strong one way or the other, heel, face, whatever. But like sands in the hourglass.
Yep. Speaking of sands and hourglasses and time, it's about fucking time Thunder Rosa came back.
Yeah, no.
No?
No.
Why not? No.
Thunder Rosa should stay far the fuck away from that place.
I know she's better than that place, but right now she's
She doesn't need to slum it. She's not stuck. Thunder Rosa could easily be picked up by virtually any of the 3 major companies, if not 4 if you're willing to do Japan. She could go 5 to AAA and get paid top dollar for just existing. No, she didn't have to go back unless she still had a contract. And I don't know any of that shit. But
I think she is still under contract. She's got at least a year left.
Oh, well, then she's got to
maybe
make
2 at the most.
She
That's why I
gets
say
there are more eyes on her her podcast and her vlog than there is on the entire show. You know,
she's
it's a
beloved.
it's a minor aside here is when, you know, fucking Tony Khan starts running his mouth about doing comparable numbers to WCW back in the day. Motherfucker, they were doing 10 times what you had. Easy on a B show and a Saturday with TBS money. Oh my God, this is one of those finds. I'm with Bischoff on this one. They didn't have to side sell a fucking camera to tell somebody, oh, we have a big sold out show. No, you saw 100,000 people in a stadium. With them, they're faking the magic. Yeah. And they know it. You can't hide that end of the business anymore. You know?
No. But, you know, I mean, everyone's like that, you know. Unfortunately, well, actually, the only one who I think does it right is Impact.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's because it's like they know, you know, so the camera, you know, how they have the camera, but the most important part around the ring is full, all the way around the ring, not just like 3.
They don't need to have a ton of people there. Those people make the noise. They're diehard fans.
Mm-hmm.
And you know.
Yeah. I was asked if I was going in January to Impact in Vegas. I said, fuck no, because I'm not giving whatchamacallit any of my money. I really don't want money. I don't want to give money that way to Ocean's Break. That's why I'm not even going to go see New Japan, and Zack Sabre Jr. is wrestling. I think isn't Zack Sabre Jr. wrestling on the Impact one too? I think. But
see, I gotta and let me make the pitch to you here.
Okay.
You have locker room full of great men and women who've come before them, who are to come after them, right? You're gonna let one guy that you have heat with stop you from supporting the myriad of other talent that are going to be there long after he's gone. Because let's face it, he ain't going to be there forever. He's probably going to make it one good turn and then he's done.
Well, it's very interesting because he's apparently, since he's under contract, he's got 2 shows that he's doing that are bigger shows for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. He was talking a big game of how he wanted to be there, and then all of a sudden, where does he go? But but it's like for me, it's like, oh, I got to pay for flights, I got to pay for a hotel, you know.
Just drive.
No, my car's not in that condition to drive. It's 11 hours. I used to do. I did it before, but I'm like, no. I know that route. No, it's okay, but it's fine because I mean, I'm going on a trip the week after, so. What a week and a half after. So I mean, yeah. Well, still don't know who's wrestling, mind you.
Yeah, that might make a difference.
Well, this is the 1 year that we're less than we're almost 30 days out to departure. And the only people I know who are wrestling obviously is the guy whose name's on the boat. He's a given. Yeah. So I'm sitting here like, well, shit. Because at first I was thinking, oh, maybe he's going to convince Kenny to go. Or maybe now that Kenny has his sickness, Kenny doesn't want to go on that fucking boat.
Well,
timing sometimes is amazing. But I'm not saying that I'm just saying Kenny had a great out. Because
and you might need to elaborate a little bit because I know who you're talking about. You know who you're talking about. Not everybody's gonna.
So what I was saying is obviously because Jericho and Kenny are the as Kenny called them, the Winnipeg Jets. That was a rough promo. I cringe. That I thought that on the Jericho cruise, there was probably a possibility that we might see them on the boat. High possibility. Would you see Kenny around a lot? No. It'll be just like the first one where, you'll see him every once in a blue moon. And it's usually because it's like a controlled event, like a signing or whatever, right? Now I feel that, okay, yeah. But now I don't know who else is going to be on that boat. Knowing me, it's going to be like Danhausen again. Yawn.
Look.
I don't know. I'm assuming Miro because his hot flexible wife is on the boat. She's the cruise director this year. Or could be Andrade, but I don't know. I have no idea. Right?
And that's the thing is this is much like the Continental Classic booking is a little weird and the NJPW Wrestle Kingdom is a little weird.
Oh, that's a different topic we can talk about because that's
we're segueing in.
But with this Jericho cruise, before we move on to that weirdness with it, so it makes me think of, well, really, who's around? Okay, I look at it and it's like, you know what? The boat is during a collision. The first Jericho cruise, they did it live. They did Dynamite live on it, I think. It's either Dynamite or Ram, one of the two. I don't know. I wasn't on that boat. I wasn't on that one. I've been on all of them except that boat. Yeah, the second one. I was on them all, but the second one. So I'm sitting here like, okay. So then I thought, oh, guess who we're getting again? Starkey's going to be on the boat. In the peaches. It's peach season on that boat. Like, give this guy peach mimosa because why? I said so.
I'm buying him drinks.
Yeah, I know what his favorite is. So
that's all that matters.
You give him some good tequila, he'll be your friend. Not like the dark tequilas, the clear. But anyways, but no. So I thought, oh yeah, maybe we'll get Big Bill and Ricky, or tag champs, but they don't have a match now anymore. Who knows? I thought maybe Jericho would bring I don't know if Sammy's clear to wrestle, but he would bring him back to wrestle those two, and no. But I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But I think because certain people's contracts are up at the end of this year. When I mean certain people, let's call him Peach Boy. The Peach Boy, his contract's up. If you don't know who Peach Boy is, then you need to go back and listen to episode 1. You'll find out. But if you really want to know, this is Bishop's favorite part of the show. The Ricky Starks hour. But anyway, sorry.
We're just going with honorable mentions of this juncture.
Yeah. So, I personally am under the belief right now, and I cannot confirm or deny this because I won't. But I have it on pretty good authority that he's staying with AEW. Because, and the only reason why I'm like really hinting on it is because his face has been on a lot of the posters lately, promoting things into 2024.
Tell that to Matt Hardy.
Who knows?
I'm just saying.
I know. Oh yeah. But I mean, it's really interesting. So we'll see. But it was also very interesting too that he hasn't been, around Texas this week because since he lives in Texas. But a birdie has told me on my shoulder that somebody has been resting an injury. So
Okay.
yeah, I get it. He had some really brutal matches with Danielson, and the latter one don't help you either. So
No,
it makes
there's.
sense.
It's like with real life. If you're working a dumbass job doing dumbass things,
Yeah.
you're just asking for dumbass things to happen to you.
Yeah. Well, when you already have a back issue, then a lower back issue. Yeah. And I'm not talking about Bruce Peaches, people.
No, and that's really the be all end all of this is there's a darker side to the wrestling business where people get seriously hurt. I mean, it may be staged to a degree. It's still physicality. Um, and just some of these people right now are doing very dumb things for the sake of a bigger pocketbook, and that's a problem.
I don't think that it was dumb things. It's just more of, I think that because of having like 3 matches within, less than a month that are pretty, I mean, from when you don't really wrestle a lot to when you have these 3 major things that are very physical and violent,
Well,
you know?
let me put it to you like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you go work at a very hard labor intensive job with high risks and do it every day knowing that you could get paid better sitting behind a desk?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think people
Like,
also too, only because maybe I know it's too much inside baseball, but I
mm,
know with this particular individual, he has had minor problems, but a certain wrestling promotion that I will not name it as an independent, um, had brought him in to wrestle. And the person, the promoter booker, didn't realize what he had and had some like joke of a dude wrestle him. And he slipped 2 discs in his lower
was
back.
his name Ryback?
No, it was not.
I'm sorry, I heard joke of a dude, so that my mind Ryback.
Well, anyways, but yes, I digress. But yeah, no, I think it's pretty great. And also the other one, and I really wish if someone can tell me how I can get the Canadian feed of like Dynamite and Collision, I need it because apparently during the women's match, the Soraya and Rio match, and I have issues with that match. But
Yeah.
Tony Storm again was on commentary, and apparently in one of the picture-in-picture things, she was really into character, and she was talking about how she and Soraya were in sync to have their menstrual cycles together and whatnot. And I'm like, where's this like shit? I want to see this shit. Like, this is hilarious. Like, she's really going over the top in her character work. And I think she's just doing it because really, who's listening to this, right? Canadians, you guys get it. But if
Yeah,
anyone
wink,
can tell
wink,
me,
nudge, nudge.
yep.
We can.
Yeah. So if y'all know where to find that feed or what channel it is that I can watch it on, please let me know because gems like that are great, because sometimes you'll even get like I've even had on some of them when I used to get it, like I would used to every once in a while come across it, and I'd have like you get Drunk JR because we all know Drunk JR is best JR. Yeah, you get a lot of really great tidbits. But then again, I also run the thing of, oh yeah, well now that Shivani's on the desk, I'm like, oh, get more of him, and I just
He
I
will
can't.
never be Bobby. He'll never
Yeah, I
be
know.
Bobby Heenan.
But the other cool thing about that Tony Storm thing, which I loved, was she was calling Taz the human duplex machine.
Yep.
talking about his
The
buildings that
best.
he had. And it was
Yes.
great because Taz was just rolling with it. And I'm just like, fucking Taz. Taz people, I know the AEW fandom is very mixed on him, but fucking Taz, I'm sorry. When him and Excalibur were doing, I think it was Dark. I think it was Dark that they were doing. One of the two of those, internet shows. Those two were fucking hilarious because they did not give a shit. They're like, I'm fucking bored. Let's just do it. And they would say the most ridiculous shit. And I love me some Taz because of that. Those were the days, Daily Spice. Thank you. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Yeah. But AEW, interesting. It'll be interesting to see the reception of Thunder Rosa. I know then she is from in San Antonio. That's going to be a big, big one for her, which I'm like, amazing,
Well,
mhm.
she changed her look.
Mhm.
She changed her look. She's changed the kind of the way she's approaching things, which is good. She's looking at somebody like Toni Storm who's coming out, doing her own, unique thing. And so she's switching it up, and good for her. I think she would do better elsewhere, but she's no dummy to the business.
Yeah, she's got to with her. It's like there's players now that were not necessarily before she was injured, that weren't necessarily either A, at the level that they're at now, or B, really weren't there that long. So most notable, obviously for me, obviously Toni Storm, because that was very, very short-lived in between. I don't want to say Statlander only because of the fact that I'm not a Statlander person, and just because she's big, Willow. I'd really love to see now. Willow's gotten very, very seasoned. Her and Thunder Rosa. That would be a very nice one to see. Julia Hart would be one because Julia's gotten so good.
Julia Hart's where the money is.
Yeah, even Sky Blue. So that tag is going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting. So, I mean, honestly, like we all know who's probably going to get the win and get the pin, but hey, we know this stuff isn't real.
Well, we might not. We might know. I mean, it's still real to me, but
yeah,
you can generally tell based on one of two metrics: what's going to get the most attention, and who's selling the most merch. So if you can figure those two things out, that's how you know.
All four of those ladies really don't have merch. I think Julia finally got her first shirt recently. And
as she should.
Thunder Rosa, I don't think hasn't had anything in a while.
She doesn't have AEW merch, but she has Thunder
Rosa.
No,
she does. She did. Yeah. And she has 2 figures already that have been released. Yeah. I've got one of them. And trying to think. Yeah, Sky Blue, I don't think has anything. And then Abaddon, I know had a shirt before. I don't know if she has any.
Abaddon.
Yeah. Which is
over it.
Yes.
Over it.
Mm-hmm.
It was cute for the first 5 minutes, but it's not Sue Young.
I know. No one can be
Sue. Where I'm at.
Yep. No one can be Sue. And I saw that she won a title recently in the last couple of days. So shout out to my Korean sister from another misstep.
Cheers to that. One of the best Animal Crossing players I've ever seen.
Really?
If you know, you know.
Yeah, you know. All I know is she and if you guys know who Sonico the Lucha Ghoul is, it was her birthday a couple of years ago at Defy. And let me tell you, Super Smash Brothers, she's vicious. She and I were double teaming the boys. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't fight with her at all in any aspects of life. Just so Just saying.
So, oh Lord.
Yeah.
I need to refill my glass.
You refill your glass. But did you watch Brian Keith, his match?
No.
It was on the other. Oh.
No.
You know.
I was napping.
Versus Orange. Oh.
I'm just not interested in the product. I'm not.
Wow.
There
But
is
I'm interested in Brian
nothing
Keith.
motivating me.
I love the Bounty Hunter. And I thought.
Well, I'm interested in Brian Keith. I'm not interested in this iteration. I'm not interested in the watered down WWE attempts to be edgy. And that's all it's become.
Well, you know, he actually had Orange, wasn't the usual orange stick. And that I appreciated.
Look. Orange Cassidy is not my problem. Orange Cassidy is one of the few characters that did not change from Independence International to that. Good stuff. 99% of that entire roster, whether they come from the Independents, come from WWE, it's watered down. It is more obviously corporate than it has any right to be, because it is a fantasy booker's playground who has a checkbook. And as an example, okay, you had broken Matt Hardy, who by his own right could have done anything after his work in Impact, could have had the opportunity, had the money, had the backing, even has a really nice house to do so, and an amazing wife. Just saying. You know, which, small aside, Revy and Matt, that's relationship goals, people. Anyway, so
yeah, that bitch will fucking stab somebody. You look at her wrong. Don't even try to say anything about her man in front of you.
She don't play.
She don't play. She'll kill you.
She
won't fuck with that.
She defends her family, right, wrong, or indifferent. But to carry back to that point, you had, all the work that he'd done in Impact to create the broken universe, end quotes, and with his brother, and that was great, and that was fine, and Jeff was out and needed to be out, because being in the business tends to fuck up his sobriety, and that's not because, he's out looking for it. It's just, you hit painkillers, you start, it snowballs. It's a thing. Yeah. But then it went to, this awkward sort of video gamey crap where it's not, there was no story, there was no creativity, there was nothing unique about it, and that's where the guy came from. And to sort of give our fans who don't know where all that comes from, because it's the world of, the internet, the Hardys, which, well known outside of any brand, they're one of the best tag teams that have ever existed. When they went to Impact after some issues in WWE, they went over to Impact, and Matt Hardy reinvented himself into a very eclectic, weird ass sort of character that was just out of his mind. Like, that's really what it is. He was just out of his mind. And it ended up playing out to where he took that one little thing and he produced his own vignette matches at his own home. He had people, like, ended up being characters, even his own kid. It was pretty cool, and it was just something you didn't see at that time. It was before the pandemic, where everything was kind of pre-taped. This wasn't that. This was well before then, and it showed that it could work, which has inspired a lot of different things. I mean, it was insanity. And then it went to WWE, which is fine. There was some great work, and I think it only would have worked with Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace there, buddy. One of the most creative minds the business has ever seen, sadly. And it worked with him. But you translate that over to AEW, and it was flying a drone at Chris Jericho. That was pretty much the most substantial moment anybody who saw that actually got. He flew a drone at Chris Jericho. That was it.
Oh.
Like, he had daddy's checkbook, you know, the creative freedom to draw me money. And we got a half-assed drone footage, essentially. Drone footage. That's all we got out of this. Like, you know, look at all the women, you know, say what you will. Even Charlotte looks, you know, different in comparison to a lot of the other women on the roster and does her own thing, you know. But just goddamn, only Tony Storm has managed to capitalize on an environment of all these chicks wearing leather and pretending they're badass if you're not Japanese. Essentially, you know, it's like, what the fuck is going on over there? You had this massive opportunity with people like Miro, who is a big dude, really well, really good worker, lots of charisma, lots of just everything. He had all the marks. He was even pushed by WWE, and that doesn't happen for a foreigner generally often unless it's like, well, a comedy act. And hell, he even had a manager, which is something that didn't happen too often, and it's not that he couldn't cut a promo either. You know, but they had the keys to the kingdom, and that's my tragedy. That's how AEW is for me. They had the keys to the kingdom. They had every new star to come up. They had stars from the past. They had all this opportunity to take where it started and make something legendary, magical. It started on a high for the first year, but as it's going along, it's just a steady decline where you're watching. It's the same thing over and over. It's great that that's all you want. You run into that problem where if you don't believe why they want to kick somebody's ass, then what's the point? I mean, any two guys can go out there and do great matches, but if you're going to do that, where the fuck are you going to go to a predetermined ending when you could go watch UFC or any sort of MMA? Why would you do that? What's the differentiator? You know, is that there is more of an audience, more of a showman type line to it. And if you don't have anything to gravitate eyes, like one of the most important moments in wrestling history was the NWO invasion of WCW. And what made that different was it had not really been done to that degree before. It took a little bit of Paul Heyman, a little bit of Vince McMahon, and kind of crammed it in there into its own little light. And instead of just keeping it, it's just a faction at a show. No, they went full into it. They leaned into it in a different way. And then it started to become cool to be a bad guy. You know, as far as their brand was concerned. That was different. That was, you know, taking in something forward. That, you know, something unique. But that's not what I'm seeing with AEW. That's why I don't care. Oh no, the devil. It was cool when it was MJF the one time.
Yeah. Then now
like,
yeah, there's so many now guesses on what it could be, but to be honest with you, like, it should have already been revealed by now. It's probably not going to be revealed till the 30th. And if that is the case, then
I know who it's not.
You know who it's not?
Mm-hmm.
Who's it not?
Well, I could tell you, anybody I'd care about it being is either in another company or in another country. Because if it's anybody on the basis of their roster right now, you know, they're going to be written off as MJF light. The Simpsons did it response. You know,
Mm.
I hate to be that guy. Well, no, I don't hate to be that guy. I am that guy, but you know, like when you go to an independent show, when you go to your hometown show, when you go to some of the lesser name shows, they have that freedom to be outside of the box in a way that, you know, the bigger names can't be. And I get, we're spoiled with that here on the Chaser. But there's such a point to where, you know, you gotta think ahead forward. Like, you know, the same mask, the same tricks, the same antics, you know, with this devil thing. And that's just an example of many. Why? What does it matter? Like, oh no, there's supposed to be a tag match or some crap I was reading on the internet about. Why? You're gonna make MJF and Samoa Joe tag. That's great that you're using Samoa Joe while he can still work, but why?
Yeah. I think,
You know,
I don't know.
how
I
does
think,
that compete with, whether you love him or hate him, Phil Brooks trying to figure out how to unfuck every bit of damage he did in WWE, and the returning Randy Orton because Daddy's back. You know, how do you compete that shit to that?
well, I'll tell you this. That shit, talking about Phil, that follows. Because
Mm-hmm.
the only people, honestly, really, that came around, and people can tell me, oh, that's not true. It is true. It's the people who are like, oh my God, Phil actually did come back. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll watch this shitty show. Oh,
Right.
he got fired. Bye. See ya. We're going to go over here. And
Mm-hmm.
it's more of one of those things where I think that with Phil, that was fucking bad on TK. I think that showed everybody in that locker room. I don't care if you were an EVP or if you're, fucking Griff Garrison. Okay. Everybody there was just like, you basically told us that we're not worth anything to you. It's about things like this. And even guys who paid a lot of money for too and are giving them a lot of money. We're just like, what the fuck?
Well,
You obviously don't value us, and you really don't value this place. So I think what it really did do was, I think it just put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And again, it goes back to, and I'll say this, and I've said it since episode 1, this is not the company that those EVPs and everybody else thought that they were making. This is
right.
not that company.
That
So
that
yeah.
first pay-per-view, and I know some of the fans, some of our listeners out there maybe don't know this, but the first All Elite Wrestling thing, it wasn't called All Elite Wrestling. They were just being All Elite, and
Are
they
you talking
put
about
together,
all
yeah,
the original All In Chicago?
the original All In Chicago, the first one when there was no real company.
Yeah,
It
that
was a
was kind of put together
one-off.
by ROH. Yeah.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
that was, you know, it took homegrown stars. It did not have a bunch of names. It had a little bit of a build-up. It was all grassroots.
They had a couple
It
names.
was, yeah, but 99%
Ray.
of
Ray in a
99% of them.
fucking cool Wolverine outfit that had fucking 7, like I think they had like 8 minutes to wrestle, and that was like some of the most amazing fucking shit. Like the Bucks and Coda, and then fucking Bandito, Ray Phoenix, and I think
But
it was Ray Phoenix, and then
it was,
Bandito, Ray Mysterio, and I think Ray Phoenix, because Penta
well,
wrestled whatever.
and I'm gonna counter that point with one thing. To the TV audience, who were the fucking Young Bucks? To the Western TV audience, who were they? Nobody. Ray
It's really
Phoenix, Penta, who were they? No, if you were not,
no, but
you weren't.
that show though, that show was not for the normal. That was not for the normal wrestling fan. That show was to prove, because at the time, things like New Japan, ROH, independents. I'm talking anything from PWG all the way down to something like Hood Slam or something that people don't even know that, is a real shindy, is what they like to call it. And that they could do it, and there
No,
was an alternative for these guys.
that's what this is. It was
Yeah,
about
it made
this.
money. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It made a lot of people money. Not
Well,
just the Bucks and all those guys. No. They actually put a lot of like Cody put a lot of money into it. Yeah.
well, here's
I
the
have a
thing.
lot of inside info on this one. But I will
I
say
I
that
have a bit too, and that's the point though.
yeah,
They went
but
into
you
this
see that
where
was for
if it
them to
made
say,
money, like it was a gamble.
yeah, it was a
If it,
gamble. And like they say, when you watch those videos and they were like, oh my God, like on Being the Elite, they didn't think that they'd sell out. Well, one, sell out, two, that quickly. And because it was a testament, because at that time, that's when the indies, man, shit, 2018, 2019. Actually, no, 27, end of 2017, 2018, beginning of 2019, right? When it all kind of started. Those were the times right there. Those were the times. Wrestling, and even actually through, I'd probably even say maybe mid 2019. Independent wrestling was great. It was
well,
great. I mean,
uh,
this was like right when, okay, there was that crop that Triple H and Regal pulled out to take to NXT, because that's around that time. And
mhm.
yeah, so at the time, that's what was great. The problem now is that, do we have that kind of stable of people in the indies? Not really. No.
Yeah,
They're
we
very
do.
few and far between. And if there are still any, they'll be plucked up soon. But look at like Nick Wayne. I think Nick Wayne should have stayed on the indies for a little bit longer.
Nope.
I think
I
so.
think
No,
he
just
sorted to a different
just
company.
because I think so, because here's the thing with Nick Wayne, is it's like, okay, yeah, but he should get to experience like a New Japan. He should experience some other things. But I also think that too, if you launch him too early, because you have like 20 different guys on that roster that do the same thing he does too.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
what makes
like,
him different? Why is
what
he
makes
the name that sticks out for you?
of these younger guys? It's
Why is
because
that the name?
it's because of where he came out of and who he came out with. Like he was, Darby Allin knows him. Like all those guys in Seattle. Defy,
But
I will tell you, Defy had really opened
that's
up
not
the waterway to a lot of people. But then a lot
that's
of
not what
other
I
people,
asked.
yeah.
That's not what I asked. I didn't ask. Everybody else asked you as Amanda. Why
Mhm.
is that the name you pulled out?
Why is that the name I pulled out? Because of the
Mm-hmm.
crop of young people right now that um have been plucked from the indies.
Okay,
He's really the only one.
but
He's
see,
been the only one.
that's the trick,
Mhm.
and this is something I've been learning more and more as my journey with the world here. Is that there's great wrestling, there's great product. Impact has always had great wrestling, great product.
Yeah.
Not making the money it should.
Mhm.
Like on a pound for pound day that has everything everybody wants on both sides, but they don't have the one part.
Mhm.
ECW went out of business because they had the product, the desire, and what everybody wanted.
Mhm.
They didn't have the money.
Mhm.
And that's really the thing. It's like you look at anybody you can name. What takes them from good to great? Can they walk?
Yeah.
Can they talk? And can they do business?
Mhm.
You know, Phil Brooks, and he said it best, and people glossed over it. His first promo back. He looked at the camera before the show went off air and he said, I ain't here to make friends, I'm here to make money. And I think that's true.
Yeah.
And
Some
if you were
people.
in this, if you know you got 1 and 2, you should be paying attention to 3. You
Yeah.
could walk, you could talk, you should be looking at money. If you can't walk and you can't talk, then don't look at money.
Mhm.
And I think that's where the independents have gone wrong. And that, like, you see so much potential in some of these younger guys, and it's because they're taught the other way around sometimes. Is they're looking at these AEWs, they're looking at these WWEs, they're looking at these all these other names, and they're not focusing on themselves.
Yep.
You know, like MCW. That's one thing or anybody that has any real, you know, talent that has been around the block a few times. You know, if you're paying attention to your money before you can do anything else, you're not going to go very far.
Yeah.
And that I will guarantee you that's what it is you're looking at that guy and you're going, well, if he could just do this, well, if he could just do that, then he should be able to make the money. And then I would see him places. That's what fan favorites are. That's Tony Khan with a booking pen. Except that he's like, oh, they'll get there. But he doesn't see that they should be there. That's like I said with Jade Cargill. We called it. She was going to go there. We weren't going to see her for a while. That she was not ready. And it was confirmed literally the day they unveiled her at the fucking media scrum. When she's ready, she'll be ready, but not a minute before. And that told you everything you needed to know. And we called it dead to rights. I know I just sent this tangent around, but it all kind of, and I'm coming back to full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But, you know, and that's something we've been sort of dancing around. And I danced around it. You know, every place has a different booking style. You know, WWE tends to be more short-term booking, to where they can adjust based on their talent. They don't have a huge roster; they have what they need. AEW has a huge roster, but their booking is spotty. You have Impact, their long-term booking, small roster. You have New Japan, which is long-term booking and generally just what they need sort of talent, but they're over. It's a different type of product.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Continental Classic. You know, you're looking at Wrestle Kingdom, which is where we're kind of segueing here. You could tell something's wrong when the mainstays of a product are no longer there. Like, if TNA ever dies, Impact TNA, if they ever die, that's when you know that's the seventh sign the world is ending. I'm telling you, that company ever dies, it's over. The world is going under. You know, it's like, I never thought I'd see the day where, you know, New Japan booking would ever be so last minute or appear so last minute. You know, much.
Yeah.
I know. I spun your squirrel into squirrels.
Yeah, your squirrel had a baby and it had like 20 little squirrels. And no, it's not Marty Squirrel. And
Marty Squirrel?
Marty Squirrel?
Why does he not have that, like, you know, have the plague doctor Marty Squirrel? Like, that could be a plushie.
Someone did actually make a fan art of a squirrel with the plague doctor mask and the brawly. I'd seen that before. And I thought that was brilliant. But so Wrestle Kingdom, not gonna lie.
Wait, before we do that thing, because we need to do the other thing.
Okay.
Yes. So, filling glasses, check your straws. You know, cheers to Fans for Sports Network, where we will tangent and they will like it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you speak of paying bills. Yeah, that we have to pay bills. So
yeah,
that was a moment there. Although I do need another soda, but you know, I will get a soda. But yeah, let's talk New Japan because I'm confuzzled about a few things. But I'll be right back. Let me go grab another soda because, woo, you need a soda.
I get to be my own segue.
Yes, you do.
Oh Lord! And then you were left with me. But yeah, I have a very interesting way of looking. Okay, well, I think it's interesting. Way of looking at how this business works out is just when we look at a product, we tend to see our favorites. We see our favorite things. So when we're watching WWE, we're looking at a very WWE thing. And it's and I thought long and hard about some of the things like Tony Storm's gimmick being the flapper is a very WWE style deal, a way of making a character. And I've had to think on that for a couple of months. And it's true. That's why it's so popular. It's not what they're throwing out everyone. It's something to the side. And it's clear that there's some things. I heard a can.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Hold on. My computer froze. Hold on. Ah, there we go. Yes, you did. You heard a can. Yes.
So, oh Lord.
With my
Okay.
non-bendy. Yes, we're going there. The non-bendy straw. No, Digi. Okay,
I'm sending you a pack of straws.
dude. I'm gonna tell you. You can't have a bendy straw if you had Sonic. Like a slush, you can't.
You can get a bigger straw.
No, no,
Yes.
no. If I had, okay. First of all, if there were big bendy straws, then how come when I was in New Orleans at Pat O'Brien's and we got that fucking that that hurricane that's probably as tall as I am. Okay. And I was having a problem because, when you're short and they put it on the table. So already I was fighting a lot of battles. But I was having a hard time after a while drinking because straw doesn't bend. Okay.
Okay.
If straws were meant to be that, if you need a straw that long, they would make bendy straws like that, but they don't.
Yes, they do.
They don't have it at Pat O'Brien's.
Well,
They're
that's
like pixie
Pat
stick
O'Brien's
containers.
fault. Yeah,
Well,
that's
I
Pat
don't know. I've
O'Brien's
never
fault.
seen a straw that big.
I will take care of that.
I've never seen that. But like my Sonic, my slush, having it in a bendy straw, yeah, it doesn't work too well.
I am sure the
Slurpees
producer guy
doesn't work too well. Does not work too well.
You need girth. That's a secret to a straw with a slushy. Can confirm.
That would then be a boba, but boba drinks do not have bended straws.
They do.
No, they don't. I've never seen one.
I can get you one out in Philly.
No. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up because speaking of boba and stuff, so Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes. We're back on track. Go.
And I'm like looking about boba bendy straws.
I mean, we're a hot mess, but
yes. Okay. So it's Wrestle Kingdom, and to be perfectly honest with you, I only know of one, maybe two matches, and that's Okada and Danielson, and Sonata and Naito. Why do I feel like this is like the most boring Wrestle Kingdom ever?
Because it's not. The thing is you're looking at hold on. Let's see if there has been any updates to the Wrestle Kingdom card.
I found something that has 8 matches.
I am Hashi and Gato versus Phantasmo and Julio. We have Will Ospreay versus Moxley versus Finley Jr., not Senior. We have Tama Tongo versus Shingo Takagi.
Ooh,
We
they
have
never wrote their match down.
Tanahashi, Zack Sabre Jr.,
Mhm.
Takahashi, and El Desperado. You have Francesco Akira, TJP versus Joe Maloney and Clark Connors. Yeah, Okada, Danielson, Sonata, Tetsu Naito.
Okay.
I mean, it's still not no. That's still too few matches for what is essentially a huge ass show.
Usually they've been splitting it upon 2 days, but I guess this year, no, it's only one.
Yeah, it looks like it's one day and that.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, like what's going on there?
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna admit, okay. New Japan this year. I didn't really watch the G1 this year. Did not watch Best of Super Juniors, and this is the first time in about maybe I can maybe say 2014, maybe 2015 definitely, that I hadn't, because I started watching Best of Super Juniors in 2015. So since then, I've watched them all, but this year I really didn't. And because I kind of was irritated with whatever. But when I look at this Wrestle Kingdom card, it's weird. Now I love Shingo, I love Tama Tonga, so that's going to be good. Okay.
Yes.
Good opening. Hiromu and Desperado for the junior heavyweight. That's going to be a good one too. I really like to see Desperado.
That's going to be a fire match, honestly.
Yeah, I really want to see Desperado win it. I think Hiromu always feels like Hiromu always has the belt. Bullet Club War Dogs don't care about y'all. Don't.
I do.
Clark Connors is great and all and whatever, but Bullet Club is not the same. Right. Catch 2-2. I'm sorry, I have issues with TJP, so not going there with that one.
That's why they need to go under. They need to take the L. The Bullet Club need to beat some ass and call it a day. They need to take the fall. Like, there's a reason you have people like that, really.
Yeah. Now, the next one is Bishamon, which is Goto and Yoshihashi versus and I'm sorry, Gorillas of Destiny is always going to be Tama Tonga Tongaloa. Okay. I'm sorry. I know Hikule is a brother, but you know what? No, him and El Phantasmo, that is not, they need to change their name. I have a huge issue with that.
Well, they did that for a reason, though. You know,
I know.
I'm preaching to the choir, but
I know, but
listening, they had to differentiate them because if you kept them as the same name and you didn't separate them, they would always be stuck there. So you couldn't do anything with them. It's like the Anoa'i family. The Usos were always the Usos, and it took a complete separation of brand and name to undo 10 years of a gimmick.
You got a white gaijin in there.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's. Love you, I love El Phantasma. Please do not get me wrong.
Oh, no,
amazing.
no. There's a reason you wear masks,
Yeah, but I don't know. They could have called them the Monkeys of Destiny or something else. Don't have to be a gorilla. They could have been an ape of destiny or whatever, as long as it's in that primate category. I don't know.
I'm sure somebody checked that out. They were looking at the acronym and just sort of worked it out.
Got it.
Yeah.
That one, it can go either way.
Yeah.
For me. I'm not a Yoshihashi fan. Never have been. This next one, obviously, I love Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tanahashi, since we know that Zack Sabre Jr.'s contract is expiring with New Japan. That's going to go to Tanahashi, which is fine. As long as Tana has good hair. Because usually with Wrestle Kingdom, I associate Tanahashi with very, very good hair. This last year, no, it looked fried. Like he had put his finger in a light socket. I was so disappointed. I said, damn, Tanahashi, what the fuck?
I will almost guarantee he was doing Batsu games.
I don't know.
You don't know? Do you know what a Batsu game is?
No, I don't know.
Batsu game it's a subtle Japanese comedy where you put somebody into these situations, and if they do something, as an example, you're not allowed to laugh, and people are supposed to try to make you laugh, and if you laugh, you get like smacked on the ass, or you're punished in some sort of way. They're called punishment games.
So they're punishing me. I'm being punished because he has bad hair.
Yes.
Is that what we're saying? Oh, no,
Yes.
no. I just was like, damn. Even during pandemic, when you would see him, he's still pretty good hair.
I'm hoping this time around, like, I think it's the perm thing, the mid-season perm stuff. You can only do it too many times.
I will say that my favorite of the Tanahashi hair, because I think that Tanahashi hair. No, seriously. I will say Tanahashi hair. If you do not understand, okay, Tanahashi hair,
is anime hair.
You've really not looked at Tanahashi, okay?
It's got that.
Well, it's okay. How do I describe it? So the first time I ever really took notice of Tanahashi's hair is probably let me think back. Let me think. When did I really said, oh yeah, his hair? Oh yeah, I'm all about it. Probably I will say I have to think. I'm actually pulling up some. Okay, 2015. It's when he started getting like the blonde highlights in it, and it got blonde. And it wasn't Blasian blonde, which is blonde Asian. It wasn't that kind of blonde. It was blonde because it wasn't that orangey kind of whatever, like Yoshihashi. Yeah. Okay. So, and I was like, oh my God, this is very intriguing. So, this guy's got some good hair, right? Liking it. Okay. Then I believe in 2016 is where he was using the extensions. And so he had one of my favorite hairs unto this day is he had part of his hair was braided, right? And he had extensions and he had this ponytail, right? And his hair, he had a little thing like this. This is my faux Tanahashi hair, okay? That's my favorite Tanahashi hair. And then sometimes he'll have it down and it just looks very majestic because it's like Farrah Fawcett blow dried out.
Well, it was anime hair.
When you looked at it, and he had this one that I'd like to call it was the reverse Rachel from Friends, where it was like razor cut out and flipped out instead of flipped in. I mean, there are a lot of people who, I can say that there are fans of just his hair. Sometimes I feel like that, but I love Tanahashi. He's such
he's very kabuki. Like even his basic ring attire, his entrance attire is always a little out there, and that's part of his draw, though.
But then a lot of Japanese wrestlers are, except for a few of them, But that's just because that's who they are, and it's very simple. Like Murder Grandpa, very simple presentation.
And that I think is part and parcel just to the way they work their product. And one day we'll have to have a show just on that alone.
I could talk for hours about Tanahashi hair.
I mean, I could too, but
yeah, two true stories. One, when I met Tanahashi, I could not help myself because it was like I was like in awe. Okay. So I was like, this was WrestleCon in Orlando. I was in such awe, right? So he was over like this. I had this whole row of like New Japan people, it seemed like, in this one row. And I remembered Murder Grandpa was sitting there and he smiled at me and I ran away because
it's Murder Grandpa. I mean,
okay.
It's kind of what you do.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of scary. And I'm like seeing him smile like that because it's all crazy and shit. I'm like, oh, I gotta go. So
that's like, oh God.
So then I saw Juice, and this was my first time meeting Juice Robinson. So I was like totally excited because I love Juice Robinson. And we were just like shooting shit. And then out of my corner of my eye, I'm like, ooh, fuck Tanahashi and his good hair. Oh my God, because it looked very fluffy, right?
Well,
so
yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay. So when someone came up, because no one had come up to Juice and then for a while, and then someone came up and I'm like, great talking to you, blah, blah, blah. So then I went over, I think I cut the line because I didn't realize there was a line because it was just kind of standing in the middle of the walkway. And
Ah,
I was talking to him. And so I wanted a picture. And I'm like, okay. So here I was. Okay. He gives me this, like pulls me in, my little kind of huggish thing. So here is my hand in the back. Okay. He's like right here. My hand snuck up his back and my fingers were running through his hair. And then he stopped me and he turned to me and I like froze and I'm like, oh, fuck. He's like, you like my hair? I go, your hair is magical. And he looked at me. He goes, really? I said, he's like, please. He's like, please touch. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, and I said, it's like petting a unicorn. I told him that. And he just smiled. Either I'm like psycho or whatever. But yes, I did. His hair is magical. It felt magic. It felt like I was like touching, I don't know, forbidden fruit or something. I don't know. But all I know is it was really nice. Second story was when Jeff Cobb first went to New Japan. He was on a tour and there was a photo where he was with Tanahashi and Tanahashi was straight ironing his own hair. And then Jeff Cobb was there. And then all of a sudden, next thing I know is Jeff Cobb has barrettes in his hair. And there's a photo of him getting straight ironed by Tanahashi. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like,
very...
oh my God. So I had to message Jeff and I go, Jeff, you got to tell me, what was it like? He said to me, he said, well, first of all, because he knew I was obsessed with this, because we had talked about it before. And he goes, well, you're right. It's like a unicorn, just like petting a unicorn. He's like, but when he touches your hair, it's weird. It's almost like it's like pixie dust or having the fairy godmother bless you with her wand. And I'm like, Jeff, I'm so jealous of you. It's not fair. Yeah, things in life are not fair, and that's where Tanahashi's hair is not fair. But anyways, but yeah, I mean, since Zach's, I don't know if Zach's going to do one-offs here and there with New Japan. He might, like, you might see him in, New Japan Cup. You might see him go back to a G1. Who knows? But I don't think
he's got fans.
Hmm?
He's got fans over there, so I mean, it's not
like he's got a lot of fans. He's got fans everywhere. Yeah, but I mean, this was the one he was one of the Gaijins who came over there. I mean, he'd been living there for years because remember he was the young lion over at Noah, and he was one of the very few Gaijins that when they did move over there, I mean, he learned the language and like a lot of the culture and things like that, whereas other people didn't fucking care. Well, because they're assholes. So fuck you, Ocean Spray. But I'm just saying. So
yeah.
And I think the only reason why, don't shake your head. This is facts. Facts.
I'm not arguing the facts. I'm just going, we're gonna have the wrestlers court over this. This is enough.
No, a lot of the okay.
Honey, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was gonna say a lot of them know I fucking hate him. Okay,
I know.
A lot of them know this.
I know.
Yeah, a lot of them know that. Even Marty was like, he's like, I still don't get it. And I go, I told you, dude. It's partially because Don Callis, the best thing he ever said was there's three things in life. There are three things that are certain: death, taxes, and Skrull beats Osprey. And that's a fucking fact. You can go back and Cage Match, and it is true. It is true. People.
I'm just gonna say this much: that while I appreciate your blood feud with Will Ospreay, I think at some juncture, like we just had a moment. For those of you that don't understand, we just had a moment. We just had Miss Amanda Jane, who normally can go on for hours about her favorite peaches. Okay. Just go on for a good 20 minutes on somebody's hair who is not the same person. I am proud of you. That is emotional growth. We're also a therapy channel for you.
Mhm. We are. Will this show, will our little show make me like him? Fuck no.
No.
No. I mean, okay. True story. Okay. I think he's going to be on the Jericho Cruise again. I
Probably.
hope not. I hope
Who
not.
else is
Because
going to book him?
this time now, because he shoved me, I will fucking throw him overboard. I don't fucking care. I will go to jail. I don't care. So if you get a call or a text message, like an SOS for me, I don't know, you hear Morse code, whatever. Yeah, I need some bail money because I'm probably somewhere in like Bermuda or some bullshit. But
I'll call the Coast Guard. It's fine. I got you.
no, it's international water, so I don't think the Coast Guard would help.
Other countries have Coast Guards.
Yeah, but that's international maritime law.
International maritime law, depending on where it is, still has somebody who patrols his waters.
Okay, because we're going to Mexico.
Oh, then it would
it'll probably be in the Gulf somewhere.
Okay.
So have some payola for some federales. That's all I know. I'm just saying.
I got you.
I'm suggesting. So, but on the original one, when he was there, he like fucking stalked me everywhere I fucking turned. There he was. And I'm like, fuck, why are you stalking me? Like, seriously. So one time, after like the 15th time, I had run into him on the day 1.5. I was like, you know what? I should be nice. Okay. I said, because I saw him. He was getting ice cream. And I could see him because I was waiting to get a soda. Next thing I know, he's coming close to me. He sees me. He and I made eye contact. And I was like gonna say, hi, Will, but no. What did I do? I'm like, oh, hello, Ocean Spray. I couldn't help myself. It just came out like word vomit. And he goes, oh, it's the Marty girl. Like,
that's awesome.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Cannot do it.
Well,
cannot do it.
Not. Is he wrong?
He was sober at that point. So
I don't care. Is he wrong?
Did he move on?
No.
I had to move on because it was my turn to get what?
No, is he wrong? You are the Marty girl. I mean,
oh no. That's how he knows me. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah.
He's not wrong. I mean, he might be.
No. But he knows the sound of my voice. Because fast forward to Wrestle Dream. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That match that he did, the 3-on-3, the 6-man, there was a point where he was leaning on the ring on the ramp side, and I had leaned out because I was in the front row of that, but I was further back, and I stepped out, and I'm like, fuck you, Ocean Spray. 2 middle fingers. I even took a picture of myself doing that too. And he looked over like, oh God.
It's her.
But then again, remember what I had said on episode 1 about Full Gear when they announced him. And of course, I got on the chair and I slipped the first time and fell. Yeah, karma. I know. I get that. Then it was fine because I admitted it. I said it right there. Everyone's like, oh my God, are you okay? I said, man, this is fucking karma because I want to fucking flip him off and right. So, but then because I'm behind him and there was one, I waited till I picked my moments and you can actually hear it. I waited for it to get really silent so you could really fucking hear my disdain. Yep. Of course he heard it too. And I'm thinking, Jesus, I know he heard it. So what happens when he went and he did his whole, when they were done, the segment went in the turnbuckle thing and he went to the one that was facing hard cam on the left-hand side if you're facing the hard cam. And then we got down, he did something to the middle, facing with his back toward the ramp. And then he turned to our section. And as soon as he turned, he saw me and he blew me a kiss. I'm like, fuck you, asshole. Fucking,
I'm gonna have to send you two to couples counseling.
No. No. Even Marty said, "Do you need me to moderate?" And I'm like,
Right?
no.
So
And he goes, "I still don't understand." I go, "Well, partially it's you, okay? Because hello, you're such a better wrestler and person than him." He goes, "Well, yeah." And I go, but I said, he's a shithead. And he goes, "I know." He's like, "But he's grown up." I go, "No, he is not." He goes,
he's grown up.
"No, this is what Marty said." And his facial expression, he's like, "You know, yeah, you're right. I'm giving him too much credit."
No, that
Yeah,
may
and then
be.
he shoved me, and I told him to watch the clip, and he did, and he goes, "That's not cool." I go, "Me or him?" And he goes, "Him." He goes, "And you could tell he made a beeline to you." And I go, "Exactly." He knew what he was getting into. I said, if a mutual friend of ours, that Marty and I know, pulled me back, I was like, "Oh, hell no." He shoved a woman. My friend grabbed my shirt. If he did not grab me and pull me back, I definitely would have gone to jail. Because at that stateroom, they always had a police officer there because it was the law in South San Francisco. But anyways,
Why is it at least half your stories end up, and I almost went to jail? I mean,
I don't know. I
I
don't
think
know.
it's just.
I have other stories that, you know, no jail was involved.
Yeah, I've
Quite a
got
few Ricky Stark stories, there was no jail involved, except once. But that was on him, not me.
yeah, well,
That was on
one
him.
of
That was
these
not my
days.
that was him.
So now that we've done with your therapy session,
Yes,
this
I
is
can
our
breathe.
Christmas,
Namaste.
New Year's resolution.
That is
Uh,
not a resolution. If I say if there's a resolution, since he's more accessible now, do I want to say, "Oh, I'll try to be nicer"? No. Mm-mm.
no,
I can't.
well,
Maybe
I'm
not
gonna
as
leave.
violent,
Well, I'm gonna put it
but
to you like this. John Cena said it best. Love you or hate you, you have a reaction.
oh my God, Willis! Happy
Willis,
birthday to you! You're lit and you're high. Oh my God.
oh
Willis, cheers to you, mate. Cheers to you,
yes,
man. It's funny.
cheers.
Okay, let me tell you guys a really crazy story about Willis. Okay. So we were at a West Coast Pro show. And you know who Calvin Tankman is, right?
I do.
Yes. Well, if you don't know at home or listeners, Calvin Tankman is on the Independence, real big, beefy black dude. He can wrestle, he can move. Like a lot of these big guys now can move. Like Sam Stackhouse, whoop whoop, friend of the show. Shout out to you, Sam. Um, was wrestling a guy named, and I never seen this dude, so I don't know where he came from, but it's beef. He's drinking Hennessy. Well, duh, you're like a stereotype. But that's cool
Uh,
because remember, it's not what you drink, it's who you're drinking with.
and you were drinking with us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
On the Fans First Sports Network or
Very
First.
good.
Yay! Oh my God,
Donnie and
Donnie!
Fuego. Donnie.
Donnie and Fuego. Happy birthday, Willis. Cheers. He's high too. To all my like high friends. I
Hi,
have to plug in my
friends.
vape.
New listeners.
Mhm.
Old listeners. People who put up with our crap.
Hey,
I'm not
don't disrespect my drink. I'm not, Willis.
I'll
I'm not.
disrespect your drink, Willis.
That's Digi. That's not me.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the girl who in New Orleans got so excited that this one bar had Hypnotic, and they opened the
Mm.
bottle for me because I was like, "What? Yeet!" I don't understand this yeet thing
Yeet.
because every time I see that,
Okay.
I think of yeet, which is the hair removal thing.
Okay.
But anyway,
Do you know what the yeet thing is? I mean, okay, yeet is a word that's more commonly used. It means to throw. Okay. So like when
okay.
you're yeeting something, you are taking it and you are chucking it, generally trashing it. However, it
Oh,
started to become as sort of a exclamation of happiness, like how in the 80s we used to say everything that it was bad, but that meant it was good. Kind of like that.
So if like I threw like ocean spray.
Yes, you would be yeeting ocean spray.
Spray. But it's
right.
Yeet because it's awesome and it's good.
Right.
Okay.
Wow, we just boomered that shit. Jesus, the internet's never gonna let me live.
Oh my gosh. Donnie and I still reminisce the Everclear slushie he had in NOLA. Yes, NOLA.
Okay.
NOLA is one of those.
Whoa. That was Everclear and a slushie.
Yes.
Sure, it was so much Everclear, or just a little.
Oh, Donnie, did you get that one at Fat Tuesdays? I don't remember because I wasn't with you when you got it. I know I had seen you and you had it. Oh, yep. See, okay. Fat Tuesdays, of course.
Then that was at least a quarter Everclear. Everclear doesn't freeze well for our fans at home. Does not freeze well.
Yeah, no, but that's not the point of it because that drink, because it's so yummy and sometimes it hits and you don't realize it's hitting, it's going to be gone before it, you'd even know. But
Jimmy's Chicken Shack is a great band.
Willis got Burger King, Popeye's chicken, and Dave's chicken sandwich. What's a Dave's chicken sandwich?
That's
Wendy's?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Oh no, Donnie, it's not Jimmy's. It's no, it's
Jimmy's Willie's Chicken Shack is a band.
Willie's Chicken Shack. That's the one. But they don't have as many locations as they did when we went to WrestleMania Con in New Orleans that year.
Jesus, we're a hot mess today.
Let me tell you, I took home some voodoo because I got drugged by some chick. I'm not gonna name names. But if you know me well, you know it was my mortal enemy. Not a nice person. Anyways, so when I went this last time in May, I felt lighter when I came home. And actually during the trip too. So I had something that I had brought home with me and it's gone. Oh, Dave's hot chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave's hot chicken. Okay. I don't like hot chicken. So yeah, I'm not a fan. And don't use that word on here, Willis, please. Yes, Willie's Chicken Shack. And Donnie, it was just as good as it was back then. I will tell you. So if you're ever in New Orleans, Willie's Chicken Shack. I kind of would love to see Ricky wrestle in New Orleans.
That's fair.
But New Orleans I have issues sometimes because of the humidity. That's just me. Humidity and I don't get along. So I don't like Miami, all the other shit. However, yeah, I was supposed to see Ricky wrestle that weekend, but I ended up flying home early because I made a boo-boo. I should have stayed so I could have gone because he tagged with obviously Solo because I believe at the time they were still the Wrestle Circus Tag Champions. And I think Johnny, what was John Hennigan's name then?
Johnny.
Was it Circus John? I don't know what they were calling him there, but he was on their team and somebody else. I can't remember. And they faced like Guevara and some other people. But anyways, I think it was the Rascals. Possibly. But anyways. Yeah, that's when Ricky was a blonde. Don't think I like Ricky's blonde.
Oh man.
We all make mistakes. But Tanahashi and his hair, we're circling back to that.
Circling back to Tanahashi's hair.
Except for the time last year when he put his finger in the light socket.
Yeah.
But yeah,
all roads.
Going back to the thing, Ocean Spray has that. Oh, wait, it's an inaugural IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, so Ocean Spray is the US one too.
Well, maybe they're doing a belt consolidation and making it more global.
No, because he's got that stupid British one, but it was US and whatever, because he's got to be a fucking idiot, you know. It's like it was US, okay? Okay, buddy?
No, maybe
But I know
that's the case.
technically we are an offshoot of Britain. I know, I get it, I understand that. But it's always not about you, Will Ospreay. It's not always about you. And ew is right. Yes, ew when we talk about Ocean Spray. Ew. I really want Finley to have the belt because Mox doesn't need another piece of belt. And Ocean Spray, you're leaving, so why should you have a lot?
Give it to
You
Cardona.
already. I swear to God, if Cardona, Can we censor Willis somehow?
No, I just ignore him.
Okay, I can always do.
I'm gone full heel on Willis. It's his birthday. I'm heel.
Yeah, but you know who's a goat? It's me. Let me tell you why I'm a goat. It's because there was a X post. Oh, look, see, Digi, I'm getting good habits because of you. I called it X. So there was an X post that was a thing about someone had taken a photo from this Wednesday's Dynamite. And the signs, I will tell you, some of the signs, I like watching Dynamite and Rampage and all that to see the signs. And this particular sign said, guarantees Moxley is going to bleed.
Yeah.
And I was laughing and I'm like, yeah, but a real goat knows exactly how long it takes him. And I have a video, which I will share on my Twitter, my ex, sorry, that I think I did post it then, but I'll post it again. Was I had called the girl that was sitting next to me. I was like, we know it's going to bleed. And she goes, duh, it's one of those Texas deathmatch things. I said, yes. So let's take bets on how long it'll take. She's like, 4 minutes. I go, no. I said about minute 30, minute 45 in that time frame. She goes, you're on. How many minutes did it take him to bleed? And I timed it. I had she put her timer on the phone. I put mine. I was right. It was seriously a minute, 33 seconds. I'm the fucking goat. Yes. I am censoring you, dude.
So
we
only have a couple more topics here. So
I know. So why is it I only know about Danielson and Okada and Sonata and Naito? But I mean,
that's it's really last minute. Like you can that's what it looks like to me is last minute.
But Sonata and Naito, this should have happened a long time ago when Naito had the belt. Because I always thought first that Sonata was the one who was going to leave LIJ and not Evil. And the only reason why I said it is because of that. I can't remember if it was the G1 a couple years ago where he actually ended up because, LIJ is very, they're very strong together. And I wanted to say that in the tournament, they'd been doing their thing with the fists up and they all, whatever. Match fit, bump fists. There was times when Sonata was very slow to do it. And I remember there was one time where they did it. Sonata hadn't done it yet. And Naito kind of looked over him and he's like, with his hand, hello, what are you doing? And then Sonata reluctantly did it. And then next thing you know, they're wrestling each other. And it was tense. And I thought, oh yeah, Sonata, he's on his way out. Because at the time they were saying that, no, it's okay. It's your birthday. You can like idiots. That's fine. My gift to you was I said his real name. That's not much of a gift, but think of it as I'm Colt Cabana and that's all I'm giving you. Anyways, but they used to say, And I don't know if they still believe it, but I mean, he's had the belt for a while now. So they used to say that, Sonata, they were going to groom to be the next Okada because they knew when Okada's thing was up, he was going to retire. So who do you pass that torch to? They were not going to pass it to a Gaijin. So any of the Gaijins who thought that they were going to get that title, it was never going to happen. So the only one I think that possibly could have would have been Jay White. But we all know where Jay White went. So I think that that's kind of what it feels like. And Willis is right. It feels like this year's Wrestle Kingdom is not that interesting. Nothing but rematches. Totally agree with that. I don't know why Danielson would wrestle Okada again, because he now has 2 injuries that came from Okada this year. So you're trying to retire yourself this early? I don't know about that.
Can't hope.
I don't know. But hey, Rainmaker, it's all good. It's all good. So it'll be very interesting. I want to go to Vegas and see him at an Impact show, because that's the closest that you're probably ever going to see Okada, because that's going to be less than maybe about at most 1,000 people.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
Because they still run Sam's Town, so it's probably maybe 500. So that would be great. So I'm excited about that. And I will say I have a feeling, because we're talking about Impact right now, because we didn't talk about this before. Do you think that Scott D'Amore's big signing that he keeps hinting to, maybe it's a good segue right now to Impact?
Yeah.
Who do you think is his big signing?
As I was saying before the show, I think it's Mercedes Moné.
Really? Why do you think it's Mercedes Moné?
Well, she goes to AEW. She knows enough about business. She'd be sitting in catering for half her time. She would be used for maybe the first 2 months and then to the backlog. She's not going to go straight indie, because she's above that. She's greater than that point now in her career. She's not under contract with anything Japanese related. That has been confirmed. And WWE does not need her in the slightest. She knows Trinity. She knows a lot of the girls in the back. And she knows that, much like Trinity, who had no TV time over the years, was a blow off to everything. Now she's being booked strong like Women's Wrestling Matters. So that, if in my mind, I think that would be the game changer, because Scott D'Amore isn't Tony Khan. He doesn't hold a press conference to just go, but my socks are blue. When he says he's got a game changer already, and he already has, Okada, there aren't too many names on there that are getting that aren't signed somewhere else that are going to be of that caliber.
Yeah, because I think he's also signing Zack Sabre Jr.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
But who knows? I mean, I don't know. Would Zack Sabre Jr. benefit from TNA? Possibly.
Yes.
If Tony had a better Ring of Honor product, possibly. But he doesn't. So, because now Athena's moving over. Rightfully so. And
she's given the rub off as is now. She's checking her boxes.
She is. I think that one of the that's a very interesting thought. And you know what? We always have interesting thoughts, here at Wrestling on the Rocks. Because why? Our friends over at Fans First Sports Network are keeping our
You're just so happy you got that right.
I'm getting good at this shit. Oh my God. I won't quit my day job though.
I hope not. You're really good at your day job.
Yeah. But, that's a very interesting point that you say her. And, you could be right. You could be right, because there really isn't anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, unless he got Greta back, I mean,
That's not a big, no. That's not big like that, because I cannot think of anybody right now who would be bigger than that.
Like, that would be if I were going to get eyes on Impact, that would be one of the ways I'd do it. Like, she didn't fly well over in Japan, and it's not her fault. It's just a different culture.
Mm-hmm.
But, putting her on Impact where she can be, she can flex herself a little bit. She can do a bit more. She can, hang out with her friends,
Mm-hmm.
pull a Adam Copeland, as it were,
Mm-hmm.
and it would get attention.
Yeah. I think, too, with it, is I think that she knows the caliber of women's wrestling that's available on the bigger platforms. That's the best one, hands down. Because, I mean, come on, who does not want to see her versus Masha Slamovich? Come on now.
I would pay to see that fight.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would love to see her go against like a Jessica Havoc,
Mm-hmm.
A Sue Young, a Rosemary,
Mm-hmm.
Deonna Purrazzo, who's now back on the roster.
Mm-hmm. Any of these women, any of them.
There's potential for just money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely. I think that
Impact doesn't sign people very often. Like, you got to be a long timer or somebody special.
Yeah, and they are signing a lot of people lately. I don't know if it's, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, is it because it's, I mean, that's what it takes now to, if you want to get someone and you want to lock them in, is you have to sign them. Is that what the AEW culture now has said to us, that we need to, if you want a paycheck, and you're really not doing the indie thing, then yeah, you need to sign with somebody. I mean, I don't know.
And I can't say for sure. I'm not talent, nor will I ever have that chance to be.
Yeah.
But I think it's because, like I was talking with Sam on episode 1, is that this is an interesting market that we've never really had before. The internet wrestling community, while has a large toxic fandom point, independents, you can watch virtually any promotion. They're putting it out there, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube, or whatever you want to do it. It's there. So those homegrown stars aren't necessarily homegrown to that town. Now it's whoever's into independent wrestling, something outside the major brands. So, now that you've got all these eyes, you don't have to go through the same rigmarole. It's a buyer's market at this point. You see somebody on there that's badass, somebody that you can watch, you can start, influencing your career. You can basically set up a smaller NXT with low overhead. I mean, it's just, there's money to be made here on all ends, even if it's Impact, because I still watch Impact. I know you're either in it and you know it exists, or you don't. And when generally people find out about it, they start paying attention. But it's a different product, and that, that's kind of the way it is for me. Is I think that now that the eyes are there, now that the cards are out on the table, as it were, that's what it is. Is that it's now that time, and you're going to see places like Impact who don't need that overhead, who have like the one deal, don't need a bunch of other deals, So it's there. Like, why not get a name, gravitate your attention on social media, convert social media to, you got viewers, watchers, sponsors, and then carry it forward. I mean, that's just the way to make the money. It works with YouTubers. Why couldn't it work with a wrestling promotion?
Yeah, I think, I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. I mean, is the landscape changing dramatically? I don't know. Maybe. It might be.
Maybe another
But it's
10 or
hard to
15
say.
years.
Yeah.
Like,
That'll be interesting to see.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's only
Absolutely.
so many people. I mean, look at MCW. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about iron hot as they have their fan fest there coming on. Yeah, that I think I got that name right. Um, God, I'm just having a day. And make sure because I don't want to misquote them. They're good people, friends of the show, as it were. Yeah, he's all right. So we have him. He's going to be there January 6th in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
This was announced not too long ago here, and they're doing the Fan Fest thing. I think it's in February, somewhere in that line. Don't quote me. It's late and old. Those two in combination. But they've got him. They've got fucking Dolph Ziggler. They've got, these are big name people for whatever reason, not with Company A, Company B.
Yeah, that are doing these big shows. Mm-hmm.
They're doing these, and MCW, Maryland Championship Wrestling, is not. I mean, they're a classic one. They've trained a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
but their name is still worth something, and to be part of that end of things, it's a matter of time. It's like if you want to, and I hate to admit it, the progenitors of the internet culture to really push it was being the elite.
Mm-hmm.
BTE was where it really kicked off. You want to go before then, ECW. You want to go before then, there really wasn't a before then. So
Excuse me.
it's gonna evolve. Hell, we might even see Willis on there being a ring girl. We never know. Had to get the birthday jab in there.
Well, Willis is training. And speaking of training, and this is a free plug, friend of mine is now offering training via Zoom. You can work on, if you want him to watch a match, and I'm talking about Marty Skrull. If you want him to critique one of your matches, if you want to talk about character development, merch strategy, working on promos, whatever. He's actually doing this now. And if you've ever wanted to learn from one of the best, he's even doing like storyline, helping you, how do you build a storyline, those kinds of things. If you ever really want to, and this is what I think that the Independence Alliance guys are missing because they're very white bread, vanilla, that people are lacking like a good character, a good story, and personal branding. And I think that he's one of the best.
Well, that's
yeah,
like, and that shows something too. That's business moxie. I can't think I've heard of anybody doing that until now.
Well, you can kind of say that a seminar is kind of like that, but a lot of it's like technique, but nobody, I don't think, is doing it per se like that. And I really I encourage people. I don't know how much it is. I did not ask, but you can DM him on his Instagram. He does not go on X as much. Don't blame him. And definitely, I mean, I know myself, I've been wanting to manage, but I really don't want to get in the ring and I want to take bumps. But I have to get over that because a lot of these places will not let me manage unless I do. But I would go to him and say, him and the other person would be Vicky Guerrero, because she's actually told me if I ever have anything, send it her way, and she will gladly like give me some pointers and whatnot. Vicky's awesome.
The fact that
But
that lady knows me by name still messes me up.
really, oh, that is the original wrestling cougar. I'm sorry. I'd have to say that, she's the goat of that. I'm just one of her. I'm just there. I mean, how those who can cougar do. So, I'm a big fan of that. I'm not gonna lie. So, but I really feel that we have pretty much, I think we've come a very long way. So definitely kind of excited to um really kind of um see what people do with Marty's thing. Apparently, according to Marty, he's gotten a lot of response. So definitely, if you are interested, you guys might want to drop him a line and see, what his teachings is all about. So thumbs up.
Well, I mean that. Hey, a second here. Ooh, oh, I remember what it was.
Okay.
I was just, because I like to peruse some things. I want to bring some attention here, and I'll throw out some stuff later. I'll probably throw it up on my Instagram feed. I've been I found an independent wrestler who's very young. We're talking 18, 19, who's been wrestling with her. Like her dad is, in the same business of wrestling. And her name is Erica Damia.
Okay.
You can find her. It's spelled like it sounds. You can't miss it. She's on YouTube. Okay. She's pretty interesting. Like you can see where, she's always been training since she was real young with her dad.
Okay.
I don't have everything to put up, and I'll probably have something ready for next show. We can take a look, and I can get your thoughts, Amanda.
Okay.
But that all being said, because it's her Chris Hero. Remember, I said I was going to come back to that earlier. Yeah, mm-hmm. That's her gimmick is your hero, Eric Academia, as in like the anime My Hero. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That. She even uses it's a whole thing. It's so good, but it's just like, because I get it, but that's kind of the way it goes. I know I rambled a little bit. I get one a year,
but that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I mean, I get them all the time. So,
Well, we're at last call, my dear. And
yeah, we are.
Yeah, we missed each other for like 2 weeks, so we had to ramble for like half the show. It's what it is.
We have to. If you don't like it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, no, I'm sure they like it, or they wouldn't still be here.
That is true. That is very, very true.
So
before we do last call, first of all,
okay,
where can we find you, Digi or
Digi Damon W? Oh, well, I mean, you can find me in a bar near you. Digi Damon WOTR on Instagram.
And me, you can find me at, sorry. Well,
there are directions.
If I go this way, yeah. I don't know. Okay, there.
You can find
me at Ms. Amanda Jane on X and Instagram. And then if you want to, you can also even send some money our way by going to www.wrestlingrocks.com. Buy some merch. We have some pretty cool shit. I hear soon we're going to be updating some merch. At least that's what the boss says.
And some things. I mean, you never know what you're going to get here. We're
you never know. You never know. If you want a sticker of me, I don't know why you'd want one, but if you did, there's stickers of me and Marsh Clump. Bishop doesn't have a sticker.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
he's got his own gimmick.
He's got his own gimmick. He doesn't need a little buddies, like a wrestling buddy look version of him. Yeah, he doesn't need that. So, anyways, so because we have not been together in a while, Jim, turning to you.
Oh God.
To help close us out.
For the last one of the new year, I definitely want to say that I'm thankful for Marsh, Wrestling on the Rocks, his brand, Fans First Sports Network. You guys are great. Miss Amanda Jane, I am your number one fan. Willis, you are always going to be second to me.
Oh, fun fact. Willis did not want to come on last week when you weren't feeling well. So that would. And Willis is Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Happy Kwanzaa. Yes. I already said Happy Hanukkah for the other people. And is there any other thankfulness that you have?
I'm just thankful. This year has been a tumultuous roller coaster of where it started to where it is, and everybody I think can say that, and thank you for supporting us, everyone out there.
Absolutely. So since it is our Christmas New Year's edition, use that word. I get it. I want to say that I'm thankful to each and every one of you for coming by and listening to episode 1 now with our buddies over at the Fans First Sports Network. See?
Yes!
I was doing good and then I just had a brain fart and just, it happens with age. Again, want to thank Marsh, producer lady, Digi, of course, all of our friends that have come by from like Willis to Donnie and Fuego, Justin Time and his brother. Who else comes on all the time? It's funny that Kiro doesn't come in and we talk about Impact almost every week. That's a little weird. Oh, yes, Willis is correct. Drinking and wrestling is life. It is. It's been an interesting year in wrestling, I will say. I hope that 2024 is filled with great wrestling. For me, hopefully certain promotions that are near me will book people so I don't have to travel as much. But if not, that's A-okay because I don't mind it. So, with that being said,
just remember,
happy holidays.
Everybody out there, take the positivity we bring out into the world, pay it forward.
Exactly.
Enjoy.
Exactly. Enjoy. And then also, I do want to say that please, if you drink, don't drive. And if all of you are drinking, just get a hotel room. Hotels are hurting and they usually should be pretty cheap. So just saying. But other than that, Amanda, I know it's the hotel salesperson in me. Okay. You can't take rid of that. And that's what pays the bills. So
I've worked a night audit. Don't tell me.
See, night audit's a great job for some people. You get a lot of shit done.
I was an assistant manager at one point, but
see, there you go. See,
that's a tales from
hotels
the
can be lucrative, people. And I will say this: if you are interested in hotels, hit me up. I might be able to give you some recommendations. I do work for a managed hotel, Love and Life, and yeah. So on that note, pointing the wrong way. That's Digi.
And
I'm Ms. Amanda Jane.
That's Miss Amanda Jane.
Yeah, at Ms. Amanda Jane. And thank you for another Thursday Night Chaser. Are we going to do it again next week? Probably.
Probably not. Oh,
probably not. You'll have to see.
Yeah, bye, guys. We'll surprise you. Bye.
Cheers.
Producer Lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support and buy us a drink by putting the I in subscribe and reviewing our podcast. And cheers to Fans First Sports Network for keeping the dive bar lights on.
I would never have a drink